this is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Benaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic hit music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale and this is FBC News. Fiji has been recognized by the International Monetary Fund for having fair income distribution. This announcement was made just a day away from the signing of the Paris Agreement on climate change at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Fiji has accomplished one of the biggest achievements for any nation in regards to income distribution.
The IMF has formally recognized that Fiji has become a more equal society when it comes to income distribution. It has placed us in the Asian region amongst countries where income inequality is decreasing. It is a wonderful achievement for any country, developed or developing.
The announcement comes at the right time as Fiji will be part of 165 UN member states taking part in a high-level signature ceremony for the Paris Agreement tomorrow.
Yet for all our advances, for all the progress we are making to improve the lives of our people, a cruel and terrible threat to our development hangs over us. And it is something over which we have no control.
Fiji was the first country to ratify the Paris Agreement and has committed to making a 30% reduction in carbon emissions by 2030.
And I will also have the pleasure of depositing the ratification documents for Fiji. It is a positive first step, but not nearly enough to avert catastrophe for many vulnerable states and economies. We need to do more. We must change the present arrangements for funding climate change adaptation.
13 countries, including Fiji, have indicated that they will submit their instruments of ratification tomorrow. This would set a record for countries signing an international agreement on a single day. Commonwealth member states could be able to swap national debt for climate change action in the not-so-distant future. This was revealed during an interview with the Commonwealth General Secretary Patricia Scotland this morning. Ellen Stolz has more.
The initiative is called the Multilateral Debt Swap for Climate Change Action and seeks to help small states reduce their public debt by pouring loan repayments into local climate change projects.
As you rebuild and repair the damage created by the storms, then the debt that you have incurred in order to build the former infrastructure, those debts in effect get swapped for the improvements and the rehabilitation and the mitigation and the adaptation that you have to replace the damage with. That's one of the ideas.
Sympathizing with Fiji after the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston, Secretary General Scotland says the Commonwealth is also trying to consolidate claims for members who need money to protect or recover from the effects of climate change.
The Commonwealth has been concentrating on trying to create the financial hub which will enable countries such as Fiji to have a better opportunity at putting together the claims that they can justly make for climate change financing at appropriate rates so that they can actually rebuild their countries. And so I hope that Fiji will be one of those countries.
The Secretary General says Fiji does not stand alone and that the Commonwealth will do all it can to support our island state. Scotland takes over from Kamlesh Sharma of India. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The Lautoka High Court has found 2 men guilty over their involvement in a multi-million-dollar drug bust. The assessors found Australian national Joseph Abrusk and Fijian local Josese Muriwanga were found not guilty of unlawful possession of illicit drugs. However, Judge Justice Tusara Rajasinghe has overturned the unanimous not guilty opinion. The two were found in possession of 49.9 kg of cocaine in Vunda in Nandi last August, and the drugs were later valued at $23 million. Fijian peacekeepers could be in for a pay rise given the escalating violence and heightened security risks during missions. Republic of Fiji Military Forces Director Peace Support Operations Commander Humphrey Tawake says this is a priority which the government will take further. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Fijian peacekeepers serving abroad can earn up to $50,000 a year, tax-free, and that's exclusive of other allowances. Given the increasing violence in conflict zones that peacekeepers have been asked to work in, they're likely to receive more.
We did discuss it, but I'll leave that to, they'll be dealt with by government level, from government to with the foreign affairs, with the MFO headquarters in Rome. I can confirm that it was raised with them, but under the circumstances, they said they've got to put priority on areas that are needed now, which is the force protection and the maintenance of the MFO troops in the Sinai.
Commander Humphrey Tawake says for now the Army's priority is to ensure our troops are fresh on the ground, with Sinai the latest station for rotation.
15 troops that were deployed in the first chunk of the rotation. We're going through Lift 2 now. That will conclude next week. Lift 3 has just completed their pre-deployment training. We'll hopefully start for the following week in the 2 weeks time after the Lift 2. And then we hope to complete the whole rotation for the 338 troops by end of May.
Despite recent escalating violence and direct gunfire in Sinai, Commander Tawake says they're staying put.
Pulling out would be very un-Fijian. I think when the force commander was here and the Director General, the RFMF leadership gave them a guarantee that Fiji is not pulling out.
12 Fijians have lost their lives in Sinai since the peace agreement between Egypt and Israel came into being in 1982. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Australia plans to adopt more schools after TC Winston and Nandi Hospital up for renovation. Stay with us for that and more.
Golvina, we have so long, living Tavua. You tell me about living for na Bulefem, no mondo na se.
Bula, narango ulamila, o go ngay Nandi, ando talitak na barong na Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Bula, nango penel lo toka, do talitak na barong na Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Nimbula, narango o anawete webata, ena kasi, ando barong na Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Welcome back, and this is FBC News. Surgeons from Australia, who's part of the Australian aid-funded project in the Pacific, are impressed with the facilities and technology now available at the CWM hospital in Suva. The group has been carrying out heart surgeries and other complex operations in Fiji for many years, but only now have access to proper facilities at the operating theatre. Savera Tamboa has more.
Surgeons, nurses and other medical staff from Australia have spent the week operating on children. Pediatric surgical team leader Dr. David Linscott told FBC News that they've been able to conduct surgeries quicker thanks to the quality machinery now available.
We've seen some real changes in the care that's been delivered here at CWM and improvements every year. We were very impressed with the new facility and the improved levels of staff and ability to deliver care, and also the way that the surgical teams and the nursing teams have developed their practice over time. It's been a real privilege to watch those changes.
Most of the children seen by the team suffered either heart or liver problems. High-end facilities meant that more patients could be treated. One of them, 11-year-old girl Aslin Chand.
I want to thank my Lord for helping me get well very soon, and I want to thank the government for thanking the team from New Zealand for helping me and getting my stomach good with me.
The team, while conducting surgeries, also train local doctors and nurses on some procedures.
The nurses are very, very interested in learning. I've had a few teaching sessions and I've been really thrilled with the enthusiasm for them to learn. So, well done Fiji team.
The team have been visiting Fiji and other Pacific Island countries since 2005, conducting free surgeries. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
More than 1,000 students graduated from the Fiji National University today. The highest portion of graduates are from the College of Humanities and Education. Kelly Vadala has the details.
There were tears of joy and smiles everywhere as FNU students come through after years of hard work.
I'm graduating in trade diploma in occupational health and safety. Actually a happy occasion for me. The most challenging part for me is going to school early in the morning, especially since my husband is working, I have to wake up early, cook food for my kids and then prepare his clothes for him.
For one of FPC's very own attaches, Salania Tavakalala, graduating is a huge achievement, a payoff for her sacrifices.
I've graduated in Certificate 4 in Film and TV production. Basically all about cameras and editing. The sacrifices I made and through my studies and also trying to wake up early in the morning, trying to study like around about 3 o'clock in the morning, preparing for my exams and what. It was hard for me trying to adapt to the time, but it was a major milestone for me and I achieved it.
For 21-year-old Napoleon Yoraki, the thirst for knowledge hasn't quite gone away, with plans for more studies in the near future.
I've graduated in trade diploma in agroforestry. Okay. I feel excited and I just can't explain it. My plan after this is continue and do my degree.
The FNU Chancellor Iqbal Janif has highlighted that the support from the Fiji government in establishment of education assistance, FNU has seen an increase in intake, which indicates the success of the programs. And despite the challenges in recent weeks posed by Tropical Cyclone Winston and Zina, students are not discouraged by the damages to their campus. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Australian government continues to play a lead role in rebuilding lives and infrastructure in Tropical Cyclone Winston affected areas. To date, they have adopted 26 schools in Ra, Takonrove and Lautoka. Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, Margaret Toomey, says they are currently planning the overall work needed on the schools before moving on to the tender process by the end of May. She says education is a key area of focus.
We are looking at adopting more schools, so we'll take our lead from the Fiji government in how we do that and which ones we adopt, but we're definitely looking at continuing our focus on education and making it possible for children in Fiji to just get back to normal life, and that means being in a fully functional classroom.
The Australian government to date has provided a total of $55 million in both humanitarian and infrastructure assistance. We now turn to Jamie for sports.
Thanks, Akashita, and good evening. In sports after the break, Fiji International co-sanctioned with European Tour, and the latest from the Marist Sevens. This and more coming up.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Ganyatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lautoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
The Fiji bid of Marist Sevens kicked off in style at the NZ Stadium in Suva today. It was a good first day for all the top teams who started off well and set the pace for the eliminations. Vasnil Prasad has more.
All eyes were on the Marist Sevens defending champions Tamandamu Reds as the games kicked off this morning. The side has left nothing to chance, fielding some famous players in the likes of Alipati Raitini, Sitiveni Wanga, Leone Kasau, Emosi Vudango and Nasoni Roko. Tamandamu dominated the game against Kambuleka, running in 5 tries to thumb the side 38-0. In the other match, star-studded Police Blue were up against Waimanu Green. Police also had former Fiji Sevens reps Ilivai Ikanikonda, Manuel Ilangai and Michieli Nathangilevu. Fiji Under-20 player and Sevens team trialist Filippo Dangonu was the hero in his side's 36-0 victory. And in a close match, Westfield Dragons managed to secure a hard-fought 12-10 victory against Londoni. Players like Waisiana Dhungu and Samu Sangiwa found the going tough in the match. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sport.
And despite the heavy downpour in the capital today, fans still turned out in numbers to support their teams at the Marist Sevens. Vashnil Prasad caught up with some of them at the NZ Stadium today and filed this report.
Rain, hail or storm, nothing stops Aden fans from coming out in numbers to support their team in the Marist Sevens. No one displayed their passion for better than this group, showing what it means to love Sevens rugby.
Every year we just see all the the standard of the games, the games, the cheering squad, the jersey, especially the uniform. It's new to us.
The 40-year-old is a piece of Sevens history for Fiji. It's hard work and dedication on the ground, but at the same time a sort of festival for fans.
It's very intense since our team is playing. We're hoping that he'll win.
The struggle has been worthwhile for some upcoming teams, adding flavor to the tournaments where Fiji Sevens representatives.
It's a very strong, legit game. As us here in Fiji, we play rugby. It's a first sport, and our message for all the teams that participating is: if you prepared well, you know you're gonna do it. You know you're gonna achieve it. Then you have to prove yourself out here in the field.
Expect more fans to turn out in numbers as Marist Sevens nears climax. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Tambandamu Reds received the boost ahead of its Marist Sevens title defense. The team was handed a new set of jerseys at the 11th hour and were all smiles at their resting camp today. Meanwhile, Tambandamu players are confident of retaining the title this year.
We have promised. We are going to defend the title for the children in Watuanga, enjoying playing, enjoying the game, enjoying playing with our opponents. We've been playing well. He joined the team last week, and yes, he's been performing well.
The tournament continues tomorrow. The Fiji International will be co-sanctioned with one of the world's leading golf series, the European Tour. The announcement was made last night on Denarau Island by Brian Thorburn of the PGA. This will help the tournament widen its coverage and popularity around the globe.
We put the proposal to them. They had seen the Fiji International. When I go to meetings of international federations and we're asked to talk about what's happened in our tour in the last year or so, I can't stop talking about how successful Fiji is and show them some of the imagery.
The Fiji International will be held from the 3rd to the 9th of October at the Natandolo Bay Golf Course in Singatoka. The official countdown to this year's Rio Olympics began with the lighting of the torch at the site of the ancient games. Brazil will start its relay on May 3rd in the capital, Brasilia. The first of 12,000 runners will carry it through 300 cities and towns in the 26 Brazilian states and ending in Rio on the day of the opening ceremony on August 5th. Meanwhile, Team Fiji will send one of its biggest contingents to the Olympic Games this year. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Akashita with Business and Weather.
Mobile phone users could see a reduction up to 45% in their usage charges thanks to a decision by the Fiji Commerce Commission. The Commerce Commission has determined that as of today, all operators must comply with new regulations relating to how customers are charged for calling other networks. Digicel Fiji Chief Executive Darren McLean has applauded the decision, saying it's positive for mobile customers in Fiji. Vodafone Fiji and Inc. previously charged on a per minute basis for calls made to other networks. Rain was experienced over most of the country today. Temperatures also fluctuated in most centers. Nandi posted a high of 31 degrees, while Sabu Sabu was a low of 28 degrees. More cloudy conditions and rain is forecast for the Fiji group tomorrow. And for Sunday, occasional showers over the Lau and Lomaiviti group, eastern and southern Vanua Levu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands elsewhere, fine apart from brief showers. And recapping the main stories, International Monetary Fund recognizes social improvements in Fiji, more pay likely for peacekeepers, and Commonwealth committed to climate change funding. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And on to the poll question for this week, and we are asking, should Kitione Talinga be included in the sevens team for the Olympics? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensites@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेट है कुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है कुरबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैनी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट